was born in the cottage, and so obviously that's very special to me. My name is Glenn Clarke, and my dad, his name was Colin Clarke. He passed away some years ago, 2013, and he was the ranger for the Outwoods. We lived in the cottage from around 1964 to 1971. We lived here with my mum and my dad. We had 2 cats and 2 dogs. Normal family, really. And for many years I've wanted to come back and have a look at the cottage. And fortunately for me, I was given the opportunity just to have this one look around before that conversion takes place. It's around 50 years since I stepped foot in there. In a way, I'm pleased that the cottage is going to be turned into a visitor centre, because at least that means that I'll be able to come back in again if I decide to. Whereas if it was sold to a private tenant, then I'd know that there'd be no more chance. The cottage is just the same as it was when I lived here, which is really strange, and it makes me realise how bleak and cold it must have been, because at that time we only had a log burner or a coal burner in the front living room. That was it for the heating, and the rest of it we just kind of made do. It was a hard life for him in a way, because we didn't have any kind of vehicle. We didn't have a little tractor to go around the woods in, and I can remember concrete benches being delivered to the Outwoods, and my dad had put the wooden posts on his shoulder and he disappeared down into the woods with them somewhere. Then he'd come back and get the wheelbarrow and put one of the big concrete end posts in there, and he'd be off with that and come back and get the other, and it'd probably take him a full day to put the bench in. When I was a child, we had a well in the front garden, which I can't quite remember if it was white with a red roof, the traditional kind of colours, but I remember it quite well. Just the fact that we had one. And when I was a child, to have a well in the garden was exciting. I've never known whether that well was actually artificial or whether it was real. I had a big wooden swing as well in the garden, which was laid out of some pine trees in the woods, and I spent some happy hours on there. The place is dear to my heart. My dad passed away a few years ago, and just before he passed away, he asked me if I'd bring him up just one last time, which we did. We came and sat and chatted and sort of pondered years gone back, looked at the bungalow, looked at the oak trees in the car park. The Outwoods is pretty much unchanged. It's still the same place. It's still the same feeling. But I feel that I'm part of this place, as do a lot of people that come up here. You don't have to live here to be part of it. It belongs to everyone.